Welcome back, my fellow benchwarmers. I'm Ben. This is Tyler.
And welcome back to another episode of Bench Time, where we're going to talk about our Week 8 picks, our reactions, kind of how the week went,
How it goes.
how another glorious week of football went.
Another glorious week of football.
And then we're going to go into Week 9 immediately right off the bat and kind of give our picks, what we think is going to happen. And starting off, we had the Lions at minus 11. And guess what happened? Who could have thought the Lions walked those boys?
Yeah, you could have took them minus 30, minus 40 if you wanted to.
I had an alternate 97. It's just unfortunate that it didn't happen. I was a loser.
You were close. You were really close.
Listen, I was hoping. I just really thought they were going to walk them.
You can hope all you want, but you can't dream.
If you want to know where I got that line at, it's at Breeze Kings. Find it nowhere because we're not sponsored or have any website or anything for it. But
Please sponsor us.
You know what book we're talking about here.
Please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us.
Please.
Please.
Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens, who we both, I'll say I thought they were going to cover minus 8. Tyler actually got the spread right here with Cleveland plus 8. Good call.
Yeah, the Ravens, they struggled. But, the Browns, I really just did not think they liked playing for Watson.
Yeah.
I didn't think the line, you could tell they didn't care. The defense, they didn't care.
Mm-mm.
And then Jameson, that energy, his pep talks, crazy pep talks.
He had a great game, him and Cedric Tillman.
Yeah. He got everyone going.
That's the first time we've seen the Browns throw the football like that since Joe Flacco was there, last year. So
who is now a starter for the Colts.
So you'll see us.
Funny how that all correlates.
Oh yeah. You'll see how high we are on the Browns this upcoming week when we get to our picks.
The Browns kind of look like the Browns from last year. Their defense, they picked it up, stopped the Ravens there, and then Jameis was on fire. And if you get those two combos together, you're going to win the game.
I'll tell you what, that LASIK eye surgery seems like it worked for him.
Oh, he's seeing 70 yards down the field.
He's just
now. He's absolutely locked in.
Just locking in on that.
I bet he can see. I wonder. Actually, I don't even know what that's like, so I can't even. I wonder what he's seeing. Like, is it 20/20 or is it like enhanced?
You think it's like LASIK? Apple technology? It's got like fucking like the distance and everything and the trajectory.
He's got Siri in his head saying, "Release now.
Launch angle 30 degrees.
Yeah, wind 7% this way. Adjust now." Oh, that'd be tough. There's like a laser correlating because you got LASIK, laser.
Someone needs to look into this. I think we're onto something. I think the NFL's already been doing this. Have we got enough?
LASIK surgery?
We need.
Is there two levels of LASIK surgery? There's one for the people, us.
Oh yeah. I bet there's some
hardworking Americans.
Undocumented testing for sure on just some random fucking contacts.
Yeah, and then they got like professional LASIK.
It's we might be onto something.
You can zoom in on one eye, and then your other eye you can like infrared.
I mean, how many times have you seen a picture of a football player and it's like somebody getting close up to their eye? You know what I mean? Like, we don't have zoomed in eye photos.
He's clearly just cracked out. Yeah. But is that LASIK?
You're seeing like little like red like crosshairs and like trajectory like animations going off in his eyes.
He's seeing hit markers from Call of Duty.
That shit's crazy.
All right.
Oh, anyways, God, get back. Okay.
Where did we just go there? Shout out the Browns plus 8. That's also huge for a divisional matchup.
Shout out Jameis Winston and his resilience. He's resilient, and he follows the Lord.
He's resilient, he's resistant, and all he does is eat W's via phalanges. All right.
Packers did win, unfortunately, but only by 3, so we were both wrong on that.
Unfortunately.
We got the Jets at New England last week. The Jets.
Wow, you really just skipped right over there, huh? You just did not want to.
I didn't want to discuss things here.
You just kind of want to skip right over that, huh? You think I wasn't going to notice that one?
Just another week,
another week.
Just another week. Jacksonville. I will say that Jacksonville played us really tough here. We lost Jordan Love at one point. Jair went down with a knee injury. He's still questionable for this next upcoming game, but. Same thing with Jordan Love. So, I mean, we walked out of there with winners, but also losers on the injury side. But,
McManus with the revenge game.
yeah, two straight games in his first 2 games with the Packers, both game-winning field goals.
Dog.
So gotta love it. And
He said,
oh yeah,
let's go do this, boys.
yeah, he's carrying us
He's
right
not
now.
playing around right now. That's what you want out of your kicker.
100%, 100%. So such a good pickup. Glad all of his alleged stuff was proved to be innocent. So good for him to get on the other side of that. But
Yeah.
Malik Willis also, shout out him. He's a dog. Xavier McKinney with another pick. So
Yeah, he's keeping her going.
very happy with the defense so far through 8 games.
He reminds me of, I mean, not the same, year, but
Mhm.
Marcus Peters when we first drafted him, and he had interception after interception after.
Yeah,
I think he was close to leading the league that year. I don't remember.
probably, yeah.
His first 6 games, he had a pick, I think, and I was like, "Who is this man?"
Yeah.
But then he was just too much, drama. But
I'm surprised that X has.
that's just kind of what it reminds me of is him just getting that every year, his
Yeah.
first year on a new team.
Yeah,
It's
just
kinda cool
like-
to see.
making an impact like that real early on.
Yeah, especially because that's what you guys needed is someone in that back.
We needed a ball hawk.
Yeah, you needed it.
Because
Guy.
Jair's more of a he's gonna break passes up. He doesn't really like he's had even with X on the team this year. I think that's helped Jair so much.
Yeah.
Like he's looked good this year, but 6 interceptions through 8 games. I'm very surprised.
And
with
that's
X,
one reason
so.
why I think Jair gets overlooked. Also with, McDuffie and Sneed and Reed and Travarius Ward. I could keep going with all the guys. Jesse Bates? Is it with the Falcons?
Yeah.
Is he the one that just got the interception? Or he got an interception.
Off Mahomes.
No,
No.
never mind. Anyways, I like seeing cornerbacks that just lock it down sometimes.
Yeah.
Like they may
Yeah.
not get some interceptions, and then when you look at the stats, it says 0 interceptions, and they're like, well, this guy sucks. But there's not really a way to show the stats of
Yeah.
how much they're just holding it down.
The best thing you can do is look at the targets of whoever the primary receiver is that they're covering that game, and look at their targets, their catches, their yards, and that tells you everything.
It's a good way to help betting, too.
So,
Just
definitely. Yeah.
Look at who was covered that game, and then
Yeah.
kind of go off of that.
All fantasy as well. I mean, you don't want to start a good wide receiver when you know it's going up a good cornerback. Sometimes that the matchup is going to be a tough one. So
And a lot of things with fantasy kind of like with that, it'll sometimes have a defense ranked like 3rd or something like that.
yeah,
But it'll depend on who's going to be on that person at the same
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And you just kind of tell, like if you've got 2 good wide receivers on one side,
hmm
2 good corners on the other side, or maybe just 1 good corner, then that's okay. But if you got 1 good wide receiver, 1 really good corner, it's going to be tough to trust that wide receiver in fantasy that week.
no, definitely,
So-
definitely. I've definitely ran into a couple of those problems before. So
Yeah.
that or not starting the right players every week always helpful.
Yeah, that's the good old fantasy curse.
Good old Calvin Ridley on the bench. That one hurt.
Yeah, whoever started Calvin Ridley,
Hey, shout out you for just
shout out you.
just thinking. Yeah, today's the day. So that was a death. Most people, it's
Honestly,
a
there's probably
desperation.
teams that are like 1 and 6,
Yeah.
and they're like,
It's a desperation
it.
move.
oh,
Yeah.
fuck it, just
Yeah.
throw them in.
All right. Well, that's enough of the.
All right,
Packers.
moving on. We got the Jets at the Patriots.
Yep.
I had the Jets -7. You had the Patriots +7.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on that one.
Thank you. The
Had
Jets.
to have known after being called soft. Defense had to have been like, yeah, no, we're not soft. We'll show
Oh,
you
yeah.
here.
Especially
So-
with Gerard Mayo. I mean, he's still going to coach similar to the Patriot way, like Bill Belichick did. It's more of a fresher, younger group, but he's still got the same like core values.
He's
You know,
letting them
trying
dance
to-
on the field, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna celebrate.
I mean,
Bill Belichick
they
always
got rid
said
of
celebrate, man.
They got rid of Juju for the TikTokers. So that's too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they're
But,
loosening up down there, but
yeah.
still holding it down with the strict rules from the great Bill Belichick. Shout out him.
Shout out Jacoby Brissett, holding it down after the Drake May concussion. So,
Yeah.
but
He did
pretty much
kinda hold it down, too.
rally the team, worked them
Rally
downfield.
the dream. All right, next we got the Bengals and Eagles. We had the
Yeah.
Bengals winning this one -2. We both had them. By Sunday, we woke up and we're like, no, we don't like. No, this is nasty. We didn't even bet on
Yeah,
this.
I
Uh,
actually did, but then I
oh yeah,
cashed out. So I lost $5, but then I used that cash out to, win all that money back plus some more. So
bud.
what?
All right. So yes, Bengals kind of dropped the ball there.
Yeah, big time.
It's just their defense. They just really struggle on that defense.
And yeah, the offense just a lot of missed opportunities. Philly just
Without T, also that kind
yeah,
of hurt them a little bit. I
and
mean, this year he's really proven that if he's not on the field,
yeah,
do not bet on the Bengals.
mm-mm.
But if T's on the field, go ahead,
that
bet on the Bengals.
that offense looks horrid without T Higgins, and I think they're really mostly missing Joe Mixon. Like Joe Mixon, that running game
Yeah,
also like that built that offense as
that
well. They just don't
held it
have
together
that.
for sure.
So
But they still just didn't use him that well. I mean, look at him in Houston right
yeah,
now.
oh
He's
yeah,
balling.
yeah,
CJ Stroud looks like he's not doing anything, but it's because of Joe Mixon.
he does.
And
Yeah,
they're
it
not
doesn't
really
need
talking about it.
to.
They're like, what's wrong with CJ Stroud? Bro doesn't need to throw it because you got Joe Mixon averaging like 7 yards a carry. That's what I have no clue what the
Yeah,
stats are. But
yeah, and the
that's what it
Eagles.
seems like watching him.
Oh yeah, and I mean the Eagles just powerhouse. I mean, everyone's back healthy. Everything's good for them right now. That's a team that gets rolling. That's going to be a scary team.
I think they get rolling.
I
I think
mean,
the Eagles are going to be talked about here pretty soon about, getting up there in the Super Bowl. I hate to say that, but they have everything on paper. They just got to get rolling. They got to get everything together.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're really just fighting the Commanders right now. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be a good battle to probably almost the last game of the season.
But in the playoffs, who do you think lasts longer? The Eagles or the Commanders?
I think the Eagles just because they've been there, possibly.
Okay. Who do you think, if it comes to a game, a playoff clinching scenario between the Eagles and Commanders, if they're both playing each other, who wins that game?
Well, I'd have to still say, God,
Eagles.
yeah, you still have to say Eagles.
Eagles.
You still have to.
They're just they have more experience.
Unless the Commanders keep showing me that they can win, it's mostly the defense. Like I'm scared of the Commanders' defense having to go up against that offense. So
their secondary is still they've been putting some things together, but
yeah,
they can get exposed. They haven't been playing the craziest amount of teams. So
Atlanta, Tampa Bay. We were on this one. This one was the lock of the week.
Yes, every week we will provide a lock. We are 1-0. Hopefully, you guys are 1-0 with this lock. We said it last week to hammer the Falcons -2.5.
Oh, we should have. And look what would have happened. You could have put $4,000 on this.
You could have put 4 milli vanillis on that.
You could have took out a loan for a small loan of $1 million, put it all on Atlanta -2.5, and then would have almost doubled that.
You could have sold your house, bet that, get the money back, buy the neighborhood. I don't know if you can do that legally.
You could have literally bet your child on Atlanta and then got another child in return.
I don't know if that's how it works.
You can't do that?
Not in this country. Anyways.
Ooh.
I don't know how things go around in other countries.
What's going on with the Epstein stuff? What's
shit.
going on there?
Oh, we're getting deep.
Someone needs to figure out, like, we need more knowledge of that. Like,
yeah, the list came out supposedly, but then I haven't heard anything.
Like, they're like not wanting to show it anywhere. Like,
I will say though, I don't know much about it, but I do know I saw a picture of his wife or something like that. What was bro doing? Why was he doing that with kids and everything? His wife was smoking.
I mean, yeah, no, I saw that.
You saw that
meme. Yeah,
what was he doing?
Why
do you need to do that?
I can't even fathom what is going through his mind when he has that at home. Well, yeah, I remember watching a video.
I don't understand
of on YouTube of a diver or whatever, and
they
dropped off and they jumped on the island, walked around.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw like the blue and white little whatever it
Didn't
is.
they say it wasn't brick? It was like painted on or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it looked like brick from afar, but it was painted.
Dude, that's some.
You think the wife is still like there every once in a while? Like she's like, listen, I didn't know any of it. Well, actually, I have no clue if she knew about anything happening or not. But what if she actually just liked the island? She like wants to just go there and hang out for a little bit.
Are they like their own government there? Like that island?
Yeah, they've got to have that place surrounded now.
Like,
Just
but
like permanent watch,
what is like?
which
what-
is also a little.
At what
Why don't they have?
size? At what size is an island considered? Like you can consider it like a territory or a country, or you know what I mean? Like, can he consider his island a country, and then no other country can invade him, or it would be against
Ooh.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, is there a size requirement on country?
Yeah. Drop that in the comments below if you know exactly that, because I
What
guarantee
microbyte file or gigabyte file do we need in
You'll
order
get-
to get a country?
you get a high five from us personally.
Is there any buy one get one free country deals that we need to know about, or a promo code? We don't have one for you. We're not quite there yet,
Mm.
but once we get to that level, we'll have a country promo code.
Oh yeah, we'll be throwing them out there.
Yeah. You want to go
For
to
sure.
Chad? We got you. 15% off to Chad. You want to go to Greenland and think it's all green? Go ahead. We'll give you 15% off. Maybe. Not
It's
now.
slippery there. It's ice. Don't do it. Don't do
I was
it.
kind of hoping they were going to go, and they're like, "Man, fuck these guys."
You ever been to Wallaby Way in Sydney, Australia? Got to go there.
Y'all hear what he just said? What?
Wallaby
One more
Way.
time?
Wallaby Way.
Wally.
Wallaby.
You know, Wally. And then B.
wow.
Zzz, and then way. Gotcha. That's the most Australian word I've ever heard.
Definitely a wallaby.
Hey, you all Wallaby way? We'll go drink some booze with the bodies. Some booze with the bodies
Oh,
on Wallaby Way in
a
Sydney,
Wallaby
Australia.
Way.
But, you know, one of the boys backed out because they got bit by a foot-long spider. I said, a foot?
Foot long.
I had to shoot one with my shotgun because it was 2 feet long.
Imagine a spider a foot long. Like, it's not like a foot long like this, but like it's
Ooh.
just a foot long.
Can you imagine
But
what
it's
like
skinny.
restaurants
time.
have to deal with?
Oh, like
Getting foot-long spider. Like, excuse me, there's a spider in my sandwich, and it's just
it's like, yo,
6-inch long spider in there.
some like this might be a mistake, but there's a boa constrictor in my soup. Like, can we just like just the most outlandish shit?
It's like a
comes
6
from
feet
Australia.
long snake. Just excuse me, there's something on my table here. It's just
Yeah,
kind of a kangaroo comes in, just
it's like under the tablecloth, so there's like a giant lump of like anaconda. They're like,
a lump of anaconda.
I
That
think
is
that's not supposed to be
That's
there.
crazy. Hi, would you like a lump of anaconda? All right,
All right,
moving on.
back to
We're gonna keep her
football
going
here.
if we get in this scenario.
1-0 on locks. So follow for our next lock this week to win some more money with
Later
us.
in this episode.
Indy at Houston over the week. This was an AFC South.
Congratulations, sir.
That was a
You know
tough
your
one. That was a
geography.
tough one.
Yeah.
Mostly because you got Indianapolis, which really isn't South.
They got to figure that one out. But it's kind of like the AFC East.
Yeah.
What are the Cowboys doing in the AFC East?
I mean, would you consider even Kansas City the
Dude,
West?
send the Cowboys.
Kansas City's not really
Can
that
we flip the
West.
Colts and Cowboys in conference?
The who?
Colts and Cowboys. Colts definitely sound like they belong in the NFC East. You know, it's a trash conference, or I don't know what I'm trying to think of right now. Division. And the Cowboys, Midwest, with the Chiefs and
That
the
would be tough.
Texans.
Yeah, that would be tough. Oh, you'd have a Texas.
Give a little bit more balance
You'd have a
into
double.
the AFC, NFC.
You'd have a double Texas game every year.
Yeah, dude.
That would go hard. That would go hard.
But then think of in Indy, you got
they would be
nothing
playing the
really
Giants and the
crazy happening.
Commanders and the Eagles.
Yeah.
It'd be Shane Steichen facing the Philadelphia Eagles twice a year.
Yeah.
Revenge.
Everyone's looking forward to that one. All right.
Joe Flacco
Anyways.
Joe Flacco in that division would be iconic, though. But,
Yeah, let's start a petition to flip the Colts and Cowboys. Anyways, keep her moving. Yeah, I had the Colts +5. You had the Texans -5. Yeah, every time these guys play, it's pretty close, and I'm pretty sure the Colts have the number on the Houston Texans normally, and +5 it's a nice number.
the only thing that doesn't help here is
I took an alternate at 3.5.
whenever your quarterback decides to tap out middle of the game on a third down, that's the problem, and that's why the Colts have the Texans
Not
number.
sponsored by the Zenotino. The what?
Please sponsor us.
6 milli
But
going in.
So yeah, it's with the Texans. I always know that the Colts have their number, so it's like, yeah, they're always going to be within a score, but at the same time, they can never just get over the hump to beat the Texans. And with Anthony Richardson acting the way he did, which I give him props also for, telling the truth, because like many have said, the PR team definitely told him to, like, hey, you gotta lie about this shit.
Yeah, but I think he was trying to get a little pop out of the crowd,
Yeah.
That's funny. But no. I think this probably happens a bit, but that's just not the way to do it on the field. Go to your coach, say, hey, I'm hurt, or I got a cramp, or
Yeah, dude,
or
you gotta
say
fake it.
call it time, or at least call it, or maybe not. I don't know what the situation was. I can't really remember.
Either. I mean, I guess you don't want to burn a timeout in that case, but
Run the ball or do something, like just tell the coach. I mean, that kind of just shows the connection you have with the coach right there too. It sounds like he was just too afraid to say, like, I'm tired.
right. And I just, at the same time, it's like, you can't be tapping out like you're running out of the game. You look like a running back or a wide receiver.
But if you look at the play, like, he ran, scrambled, got up, and not even 2 seconds later he tapped. It's like he didn't even think about it. He's like, nope, I'm out of here. Like, he didn't think, like, maybe I could ask the coach. Maybe we could, like, stand there, act like you're going to throw it for a little bit at the play, and then, change the play,
Yeah.
turn it into a running play, and then just hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand the issue.
And I think Luke Kuechly actually talked about it on a podcast, I think the Up and Adams podcast, but he said that he watched Cam Newton do this each and every play and get back to the huddle. And I mean, it's like when you see somebody like that, Anthony Richardson, just at this point, he's got to accept that he's not going to play the rest of the season unless Joe Flacco goes down.
He took it pretty good, though, pretty humbly.
And I think he's that type of guy. At the same time,
he's like, yeah, I know.
From what I've seen from him, he seems like a humble guy. So
yeah,
wish him the best, and I hope is a starting quarterback, for years to come. But right now, I think this is the best thing for him, is to just sit down, let Joe play, watch football for the first time, because he wasn't in the building probably much last year after his injury,
and jog around. Because if what I know from San Andres, you increase your stamina by just running a little bit.
That's true. So. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Try to get all the bars of stamina.
Yeah, he's at like 40 out of 100 right now on stamina. We need to get Anthony Richardson to at least 80 out of 10 bars. Let's do it.
And that's probably the downfall of him in GTA terms, because it's like every other athlete is probably at least the 60 to 80 mark.
Yep.
Like naturally, right out the gate.
Yeah.
And for him, it's like he started 20 and he worked his way up to 40, but it's like that ain't gonna get it.
Still low.
Can't play every play in the NFL with a 40 stamina.
Got to get that figured out.
Madden better fix their ratings on that too.
Let's move on. We got the Cardinals and the Dolphins, with the Cardinals coming out with the win on this one.
This looked good for the longest time. The longest time all game it looked good, and then Miami was like, let's just give it all up.
The Cardinals are just underdog killers right now. I've won some money with them, a lot of money with them actually this year. Shout out them. I didn't do anything this past week, but it's just they seem like they win the games they're not supposed to win, and then the games they're supposed to win, they lose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out the Cardinals. I think they're above 500 now. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
they're first in the
4-3.
I don't know if they're first in the division. I think San Francisco just snuck ahead of them, maybe, but they're both right
No,
there.
they beat San Francisco, so they should.
Oh
have
yeah,
the
just they get
number.
the tiebreaker. Yeah, so I
We're gonna
believe.
do a temporary check here, folks. Yeah, they're leading the division at 4-4 right
Wow, look at that! It's almost a four-way tie. That's
now.
crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty wild, actually. The Rams are gonna sneak up there. Don't sleep on those guys.
Um,
All right.
So yeah, that's unfortunate that the Dolphins did not cover for both of us there. We were both on them 3.5. Arizona's got a tough game this next week, I believe. So we'll cover that. But Buffalo at Seattle, this one was a tough one.
For me personally,
For not for me. For not for me. For not for me.
Fafo. See, that's what happened to me. I fucked around and found out.
Yeah.
I bet on the Seahawks. I was pretty damn comfortable with them. Comfortable. I even with DK, I was like, listen, JSN is a dog. Tyler Lockett's still got that thing
Mhm.
going, and don't forget about Jake Bobo. Just kidding. No fan. Someone. I don't know.
Somebody
I really thought the Seahawks at home were gonna, kind of get this thing done, kind of shut down the Bills a little bit. It seemed like that upset of the week per se, but boy was I wrong on that one.
So that was a split decision that went my way on that game, but that's how it is. Buffalo, I mean, they look good. They look
Yeah.
good. They're moving. After getting beat down by the Ravens, I think they're starting their steam again. So
Mhm.
we'll see how that plays out later in the season. New Orleans took on the Chargers over the weekend, and we were both locked on with the Chargers -7, and that hit.
Locked in and locked on with that one.
So we were correct there. Chargers look good. New Orleans gotta figure something out if they want to get going again. I mean, 2-0 to start the season. Sorry, Tom, but this is rough. This is rough that we've gone from 2-0 to 2-6 pretty fast. So
Pretty fast.
let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Let's get Carr back there. Let's figure it out. So the Chiefs took on the Vegas Riders.
The what? Yeah. We're back. We're back. We need a wide receiver help. No, we don't.
Did the
Our tight
league
end's washed. No, he's not.
did the league not realize that DeAndre Hopkins could have got traded for a 5th-round pick? Nobody else, 30 other teams, didn't know that.
I'll take it. But he may have not gotten a lot of catches, but it was a flag on the defense on the other side. They were pointing their eyes at him. That made Travis Kelce cook. That made everyone else get wide. That's all we need. We just need that one guy. It was Rashee Rice. He was that guy. He got hurt. It was Juju. He got hurt. Now it's D-Hop, but he's an absolute monster. Like Kelce said, he's still the same old D-Hop.
He
I mean,
came in.
I wouldn't want to play hard if I was on the Titans too. So
He came in on a Wednesday too, and practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then played like to pick up that and still have the amount of catches and the amount of like presence in the game. Like his presence was felt in the game. Like
Yeah.
people were scheming to keep D Hop out of the play. That opened up 10-catch game for Kelce. So
And then throwing Kareem Hunt, who they also haven't been talking about, he's not been getting the credit.
he's not
even getting helped up on tackles. What are we doing with that?
Yeah.
How come he's getting tackled on the ground, his hands up, and I've seen a couple times he's not getting helped up?
It's
What is
disgusting.
going on?
I hope the O-line coach
Media hasn't
really
been crediting him nothing. He's just been kind of silent killer back there.
the media really showed that it's like offensive line coach really had to get in there and tell them, hey, we got to start picking up our guys. Like
Yeah.
I get you're blocking for this guy, but he's also running through your blocks as well. He's taking the pounding.
Yeah, I just don't know why we weren't automatically doing that. I
Yeah.
mean, he came in after an injured Pacheco and has been killing it, and it's like, let's be grateful a little bit and just help the man out. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and the media is not really talking about it either. Like the presence felt there. Like the
No,
running
all they're
game, the
saying
running
is-
game didn't skip a beat after Pacheco went because they were like, okay, Carson Steele, and it was like, okay, we got to figure something out, and then boom, Kareem Hunt. And it's like consistent right out the
Yeah.
gate.
All they're saying is, how are the Chiefs 7-0? Who's really the best team? And then they're like, well, don't forget about the Chiefs. They're 7-0 and they haven't done anything. No, we're 7-0 because of our run game. We're 7-0 because of our defense. We're 7-0 because, yeah, maybe Mahomes has an interception every game this year and not a touchdown. Well, I guess now he has a touchdown. But if you actually look at him playing, he's getting that ball down the field. We're getting the touchdown. Pair it with the run game a little bit, some play action, and we're cooking. That's why we're 7-0. And then now we got Josh Uche.
Uche, yeah.
I can't pronounce his name.
I think
but
it's Uche from the Patriots. That's a good acquire.
he's got like 12 sacks or 14 in the last 2 years.
I think he's going to play that little hybrid outside linebacker that can still get to the quarterback role. I don't know how much coverage he'll play because he didn't really do that in New England. But if there's any team staff that can get him right, it's the Chiefs' defensive
Yeah.
staff because
all in all,
development's crazy.
we're 7-0, and we're only going to get better.
Scary.
Like, we're not falling off.
Scary times.
Which normally undefeated teams, the more you win, the harder it is to win because it's more pressure. But we're just getting more excited to win because we're getting more guys back every week.
Yep.
Pacheco should be back, kind of
Soon, yeah.
soon, a couple weeks, hopefully. So,
yeah.
And we need him. We got a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah, we
so,
do. Yeah, well, we do. Whoa, no, not we, but yeah, you do. Cheese.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Cheese.
All right.
Cheese. All right, I'm
Cheese.
back. All right. The Carolina Panthers went to Denver, taking on Bo Nix. Bryce Young, promising right out the gate. 5 for 5 and a touchdown.
He was rolling.
And then the collapse happened. So we were both on Broncos -10, and they covered 14. So
it was a fugue state. That's what that drive was.
Fugue. A fugaze.
Fugaze. Per se.
It's a fugaze.
Then we had... Okay. We had the Bears
Now
here.
listen.
During filming of this last week's episode, we had the Bears. Prior to Jaden Daniels starting, I think we said it in the video, if Jaden Daniels starts, we like Washington. Can't really remember.
We did. We did establish that, or at least I said it, but that still went for both of us because we were both on the same thing here, is that
But
the Bears were winning if Marcus Mariota played, but that didn't happen. So naturally, we were on Washington at that point.
yeah,
So when we get to the records at the end, we will establish the change there.
we
because
technically won, but statistically lost.
statistically, as the video came out, because we chose what we chose, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it was Commanders. So the Bears, that's embarrassing. Tyreek Stevenson, that's embarrassing. The Hail Mary, that's embarrassing. Why are you rushing 3 guys? That's embarrassing.
Why are you QB spying?
Yeah, what are you
What
spying
what are we
for?
doing?
Yeah. Jaden Daniels could run for 55 yards for a touchdown here.
You never know. Anyways,
That's disgusting.
that's the... Yeah.
This is the Bears' downfall, I feel like. This is going to start it. This is the mental collapse. That's what I'm saying as a Packers fan.
I think that's what he's dreaming as Packers
They'll
fan.
they'll get right.
I think this is just going to make them play harder.
Yeah. If the defense does not, the defensive staff and everything, if they do not show up and tell these guys, hey, we got to fucking get right, and they don't get right, this season's done at this point.
Yeah.
It's going to be lost
With that
after
Division
loss.
2, it's tough.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next, for Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys at the 49ers. Pretty good matchup there.
It was
Classic
surprising
matchup.
game. Dak threw, I believe, 2 interceptions. Cowboys suck, man. Like, I know they're in some of these games, but against it was a 3-4 Niners team at that point. Like,
Yeah. Keep in mind, though, I mean, they didn't have Micah. Rico Dowdle was out with injury or illness. And if you look at Rico Dowdle the last couple weeks, he's actually kind of helped the Cowboys. You haven't heard about their struggling run game. I mean, now you're probably hearing about it again.
Yeah.
But it seemed like that first 3 weeks, it was their run game, run defense. Then they played the Giants, I think it was. And they stopped their run game, and they ran it well. And then Rico Dowdle's, he's been a pretty good amount of help.
he definitely needs to be in there for a core piece of that offense. Like, it kind of wraps around that.
But I mean, it was still kind of I can't really remember it actually. It was kind of a close game towards the end.
It's 24-30, so I mean, it was 6 points. I mean,
Cowboys have kind of been doing that though all year. They've been getting blown out, but then they make it look like they haven't been because they score like 3 BS touchdowns at the end.
yeah.
But
And I
so
think
yeah,
and I think the Niners, like they're still trying to figure out what that offense is right now, especially with the loss of Ayuk and Debo's, on and off the field. Kittle's banged up week to week, but still going. But it's like, when is Ricky Pearsall, when is
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings going to come back and consistently stay healthy? It's just like they are so banged up, they can't figure it out right now. But they got the win and they covered for us. So
Yeah. And shout out tight ends on tight end day.
yeah, big
All
tight end
those
day.
reception leading or record for receptions, touchdowns, and yards or something like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Because it seems like every year it's always overhyped and they get nothing. But then, man, Sunday was fun to watch. Seeing all those
Sunday-
tight ends, I was like,
Sunday was awesome.
it started with Kyle Pitts, and I was like, all right, tight end day, here we go.
Mhm.
And then bang, bang, bang.
Laporta,
bang. Tight
Kyle
ends
Pitts,
everywhere.
again, Tucker Kraft, Evan Ingram,
Kelsey finally getting that
Kelsey,
touchdown.
Njoku,
Conklin.
Mark
think.
Andrews.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think he got 2.
um,
No, I'm thinking the week before.
but yeah, I mean, tight ends. Denver threw it to 2 tight ends that I didn't. Adam Troutman and some other dude I never heard of to start the game. So like, yeah, tight ends were eating. Even if they were third or fourth string, they were eating.
Shout
So,
out you guys.
New York went to Pittsburgh for the Monday Night Football matchup. Yeah, so I had Pittsburgh, and they're rolling now. Russell Wilson's got them going. It's a scary time to be an AFC North fan that has to look at this Pittsburgh team right now.
Or a time to just hate the Steelers. I had
Yep.
the Giants plus 6.5 mainly because I hate the Steelers.
Out of spite.
And yeah, mainly just spite. I was close, 1 point, but maybe 2. But yeah, those Giants suck. But it's
They're
really
bad.
their tackle ever since he went out. Who is it?
Andrew Thomas?
Andrew Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always want to call him Lawrence Taylor, but that's their D tackle. But
Yeah, they're
yeah. Since he's gone out, I think when they were playing the Eagles, he got sacked like 8 times. I can't remember how much he got sacked against the Steelers, but
it was
he's a pivotal dude. When he's out, the whole O line is gone.
Yeah.
So
And that tackle for him, Illuminor or whatever his name. It doesn't even matter
they've
what
got
your
some
name is.
weird names.
Like the
in
fact
tackle
that that dude
position.
was like, put me on an island against TJ Watt, and then gave up 2 sacks, of forced fumbles, and recovery and everything. It's like, I credit the man for
he
stepping.
must have bought in a small island that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, and he's got
And
his own
TJ
country
Watt
now.
just had more surface area than the island.
Yeah, TJ Watt's. Yeah,
So it's unfortunate.
definitely. He's got a plan.
All right, so to finish the week, we both went 2-2 in our split decision picks, I guess. And I went 7-8. He went 8-7. Statistically, now if we're counting Washington in there, then I went
8-7.
8-7,
And I went
you went
9-6.
9-6. Yeah. So,
but we'll choose what we want to do. We don't
choose
care.
what we want to do. We don't care.
The fact that
That was funny.
I had to pick the Bears there is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So that's gonna wrap. That's gonna wrap up. That's gonna wrap up week 8. So we're gonna jump right into week 9 picks. We have a pretty dang ugly slate this week.
Yeah,
some of them are nasty.
Some brutal games here, brutal spreads, but we're gonna try to provide
for
your families.
Ours and yours.
And for your sake of the mental, maybe do some money lines here.
Yeah.
Also.
Yep.
Just a little fair warning.
Stay with us now because we are making money. We're up over 10 units, almost 11 units this entire month.
Yes.
That can go over what amount
go to
you
October.
use. Whatever amount you use for a unit, that goes off of you. But the fact that we have 10 times multiplied our money this month.
It's all about that ROI, ladies and gentle babies.
ROI.
ROI.
Right.
Let's start it off with the Broncos going to the Ravens. Ravens are favored by 8 here.
Yeah, and guess what? Give me the Ravens -8.
Yep.
This Broncos team, it's nice. It's really nice, but the fact that Baltimore got beat by Cleveland shows me that they're going to step up. They're going to win by a couple tuds.
Yeah.
And that's just how the game's going to
Broncos
go.
have a good defense, but if they haven't been on a roll so much, I wouldn't be as hot on the Ravens. Like if the Broncos have lost the last two, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know.
And
Plus,
they played a little sloppy last week against the Panthers. Like Bryce Young threw an interception on the goal line. It could have been 21-28. Like it could have been a one-score game.
yeah,
So
they did
the Broncos
score first on them too.
Yeah, so the Broncos, there's some turnover issues on offense. They got to get down, fumbles and whatnot, but the defense kind of looked a little suspect. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that happens in Baltimore this.
And I don't know
this
the
week,
exact
so.
stats off the top of my head, but off of experience so far, when the Ravens are favored by a good number, normally they win by a bigger number.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ravens -8. Next we got the Dolphins going to Buffalo,
This is
where
a
it's not
split.
quite cold yet, but
Not-
they're going to play the Bills.
Not quite yet, but we got a split decision here.
I have the Dolphins +6,
Yes,
and then Ben has the
The
Bills
Bills.
-6. I
Um,
think it's a divisional matchup. It'll be close. The Dolphins lost last week too. I think if they beat the Cardinals, then I'd probably take the Bills. But
yeah, that's
they
a tough
They
beat.
got to pick it up here.
Tough beat by the Cardinals last week, so
Yeah,
I can see
the
that.
Bills are hot. Someone's got to put them out.
The Bills are hot, and the Dolphins are never the team that shuts them down. I think 6 is a good number. I think that might end up being a push. I think they might end up winning by 6. That would be pretty crazy for the stat line.
I might
for
take
us.
an alternate +4.
I might do an
4.5.
alternate plus, actually -22.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, where do dolphins swim?
I believe in the ocean.
What is the ocean?
It is salt water.
Water. Keyword. What is used to put out something that is hot? Like the Bills, per se.
A fire extinguisher.
Oh, you got me with the fire extinguisher. Okay.
Water, of
Moving
course.
on.
But that's going to be our first split of the week.
Yeah, we got a split decision there.
So good luck for either side here.
All right.
Anyway, Las Vegas going to Cincy.
Bud.
Cincy brutal loss to the Eagles. We're both backing Cincy to get on track here and win by a tud.
Win by a tud. Moving on. Our lock of the week, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't want to listen to me last week, and if you don't want to listen to me again, eat a damn brick. But we are taking the Commanders -4
against the New York Football Giants. Give me a fucking break.
Come on.
This is disgusting. 4?
4?
Is someone like?
It should be -7.
Did the Giants trade for Tom Brady? Did we miss something? Give me Washington -4. Thank you. All day long.
Yeah.
Washington -4.
Like I was saying earlier, the Giants, they're not going to be able to figure it out. And it's a...
When you have the head coach giving a interview and he goes, yeah, that's all Daniel Jones' fault for not, setting the right protection there. Yeah, it sounds like this is no longer this anymore. We're out here.
It's not looking good.
We're no longer meshed, and the Giants suck.
And you might look at the Commanders last week and say, well, they barely got past the Bears. I mean, if they wouldn't have caught the Hail Mary, they would have lost. Bears have a good defense. Giants have a sneaky good defense, too. But Jane Daniels was still going through a rib injury. I mean, what he did play, but it was still bothering him. This week, he should be 100%.
Yeah,
and
or damn near close, right?
Yeah, and I think the Commanders will be right back on track.
And the fact that he played that well, and I know they won off the Hail Mary.
Shout out him.
Yeah, I mean, he played well for having that injury and then coming back the following week.
He showed up. Caleb Williams.
Yeah, definitely.
Too many.
Yeah, that reminds me of the game last year against Bryce Young. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud last year whatever they played,
Yeah.
because it was number 1 versus number 2.
Mhm.
And we both thought,
I like how that narrative is happening again this year. I remember Pat McAfee talking about it, how it's not going to happen again, and it's literally happening again.
yeah,
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
maybe always
Especially
check in
for
on
us
number
because we
2.
said he would win Rookie of the Year. So
100%.
and that's looking really good right now.
I think if you can get good money on it right now, do it.
Yeah,
Put a little down on it.
still
'Cause
try to get it down now.
as of right
maybe
now,
we'll double down on it. Why not?
we might triple dip.
Triple dip. What?
All right. We are moving on to Dallas, who just got beat. Going to Atlanta, who just got a sneaky good win over the Buccaneers team, who was good. So we're both on Atlanta -3.
Yeah.
Just like last week, we think they win by a field goal. Dallas they can't get it going right now. Too many injuries, and Atlanta should be able to bring the pressure, should be able to stop the offense from moving. It's going to be an Atlanta football game.
And kind of what I was saying, like you said, Atlanta football game. Last week I was saying every week they do something differently. Drake London had like 30 yards. It was all Darnell Mooney. Bijan Robinson, he got a touchdown in, but it still wasn't like the dominant force. Every week they're doing something differently to confuse the other side.
I feel
You can't say, okay, we got to look out for Drake London. We got to look out for this guy because now it's Kyle Pitts too. Because every week for the last month he's been going insane.
I
So,
think it's just taken their offense a good month and a half to really figure out, okay, now we got all of our pieces. Now how do we want to go out and make them perform? Because I think they were just figuring out, okay, how is he going to fit into our offense? We need some games to figure that out.
yeah.
And
Kirk's Achilles looking like nothing ever happened.
I'll
That's
tell you
also
what.
going to take some time back on the field to warm back up, and now it looks like it's not an issue at all.
I mean, comeback player of the year. Gosh, that's a tough one to put down right now. But I wouldn't be opposed.
Give it to Joe Flacco again.
Joe Flacco again's crazy.
Come on now.
I mean, I wouldn't put it against Kirk Cousins because he's definitely outperforming Aaron Rodgers right now for comeback player of the year.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I like Kirk Cousins in the long run. Maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
There's some other names up there that I'm just not thinking of right now.
If Chubb gets rolling, it's Chubb though.
Or J.K. Dobbins if he has a good rest of the season. Or they wouldn't. I wouldn't see the NFL opposing that.
That's tough though.
3 straight Achilles injuries or ACL injuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough one.
It's going to be those 3 guys.
He'd have to have a monster year the rest of the year for that to happen. But so Atlanta -3. Good for them. Keep it going.
Next, we got the Chargers going to Cleveland, playing the Browns. We like the Browns. Keep her going.
The Browns
is -1.5.
The Browns are +1.5. Little miscalculation. So they're not even favored. The Chargers are favored -1.5.
We might have 2 locks, ladies and gentlemen.
So the Browns being +1.5.
Hammer that one.
Browns +1.5 easy.
If you know what? No.
Might as well hit the money line while you're at it because.
Might as well do -1.5 alternate spread.
Honestly,
why not?
Change it. -2.5. They'll win by field goal. This is the fucking Chargers. Okay? And I think that this Cleveland team.
You know that feeling of seeing a win, you're like, damn, I knew I should have done that too. When they win by 3. Just play it safe. Do -1. If you're going to do an alternate spread, play the safe alternate spread at -1.5.
I'm going to do -1.
You're an animal.
Okay, so Cleveland. That's another good one of the week. Definitely hammer that one. I think they're going to get right on track with Jameis and just keep it rolling. It's going to be the Joe Flacco 2.0 experience. New Orleans goes to Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
This might be Spencer Rattler will not be playing in this game.
It's a twister.
We have Derek Carr returning. Looks to be set to return. They need to get one back here. 2-6 is rough. 3-6 sounds better. Get them on the right track. New Orleans -7.
Yeah. Saints -7. That's all I got. Really. Honestly, I thought about the Panthers here, but then I figured out that Derek Carr was playing.
which I don't
Honestly,
know.
I'm staying away from this game. This game is nasty.
Yeah.
Because even if Derek Carr plays, is he going to be 100%? And like I just said, I still think the Panthers could cover without Derek Carr playing. So I'm staying away from this one.
Stay away from this game. I do like Alvin Kamara to score a touchdown if you want to go touchdown props, but the winner of this game is it's kind of icky.
Icky.
It's icky. New England goes into Tennessee. Tennessee is a 3.5 point favorite. Give me Tennessee because New England's doing this right now, and they just did this to the Jets, and they're about to do this to the Titans. So,
And the Titans have just been doing this since beating the Dolphins, which I hammered that money line. Shout out. But and Tony Pollard, he got a touchdown like last second too, and I had him for a touchdown.
hey,
That was pretty
Mason
cool.
Mason Rudolph doesn't look that bad. I mean, they played a really, really good Detroit Lions team last week. So,
He just looks more calm.
and Calvin Ridley looks like he's getting into a groove. Hopefully, he keeps going for them. But give me Tennessee minus 3.5. I think that's going to be the
Yeah.
best play here. That's a tough game. I would stay away from this one too. Honestly, it's kind of an icky game.
Yeah, battle of the defense of nastiness there.
Yeah. So now we got Jacksonville going into Philly. Philly just got off of a big time win over the Bengals, but we're
The real
expecting.
story here is the Doug Peterson revenge game.
Think about this.
I'm
What
thinking-
if the Eagles, just right after a big time win against the Bengals and
Mhm.
seem to get all their stuff right, happen to lose to a Doug Peterson 2-6 Jaguars team? That's and that would be preposterous. Preposterous.
Yes. I love it though. Let's do it.
So let's do it.
That's what the books think over the weekend, for
Yeah.
sure. Like Saturday night, they're like, how can we fuck this week up?
And the Packers are a really good defense.
And that's what they think right there. What we just talked about. They
Okay.
said, how do you guys feel about the Jaguars beating the Eagles? And they're like, oh, gross. I love it.
100%. 100%. They're like, that's fire, right?
So how much of the money is on the Eagles right now? They're like, oh, we're at a crisp 81% right now, boys.
do it.
They said hammer it. Do it.
So Doug Peterson gets his revenge. Jacksonville 7.5. I like the line right now.
I do like the line. I don't know if they actually win, but the line's good. I like 7.5.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, they played hard last week against a good Packers defense, who was healthy for the most part. So definitely has the opportunity to stay within.
Keep
7.
in mind, Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk probably won't be playing.
Oh,
But this makes even more sense.
this makes This
This just kind of screams trap game, because if I'm the Eagles, I'm like, man, these Jaguars, they suck. I feel like that's what the Packers were saying last week. And then also they're like, oh, and they have no one. Brian Thomas, their only dog, won't be playing. Yeah, let's just go play some football, boys.
then boom.
Boom.
We almost lost, but we won thanks to McManus. So
All right. The Bears are going to the hot state of Arizona to play those Birds and Cardinals. Are there Cardinals in Arizona?
Are there Cardinals in Arizona?
I mean, I know they're here, but like,
I don't know, but I know
do
they were the St. Louis Cardinals. So
they down with the hot weather, or
no, we need a fact check on that. Somebody in the comments let us know. Are Cardinals native to Arizona? Because
yeah,
part of me says no, the fuck they're not.
why can't they be the Arizona?
Phoenix? Arizona Phoenixes.
That's cool. I could completely forgot.
It's called
what I was
Phoenix
saying.
Stadium, isn't it?
No.
Anyway,
It's University of I don't want to figure. I don't know. Anyways,
Arizona, we have them not winning.
Nope.
Chicago plus 1.5.
this is what I was talking about earlier, where this seems like the game that the Cardinals should win, but they're not, because the Bears' defense is pretty good, and they got humiliated last week.
And we're basically banking on the fact that that whole defensive group got a stern talking to and will perform out of their mind this week. And then Caleb Williams should not really have a problem with this Arizona team because their defense is pretty ass, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
they're not even hot and cold. They're just usually fucking cold. Like, they just aren't good.
And I think teams are realizing for the Cardinals, like, hey, we got to stop Marvin Harrison, and if we stop him, we can move on to
Yeah.
Kyler, and that's their weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey McBride is there, but he hasn't really been like he's been a downfield threat, but he hasn't been a playmaking threat.
And if
I
you
guess.
shut James Conner down on his first like 6 to 8 runs, they're not going to
That's
run
it
him
for
much
the-
more
yeah.
after that. They're like, we can't keep
They'll
doing
be
this.
down 0-3 at halftime. They're like, or at
We're throwing
start of the second quarter, and they're like, yeah, you're done.
we're throwing the
it.
ball the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to split decision of the week. Of course, you know that I have to take this one. Detroit goes into Green Bay. We have some injuries lingering. Jair's questionable to play. Jordan Love's a big one, the big one that's questionable to play. He looks like he's going to be good. He wants to play. Everything points to that. Jair, I'm hoping so because that's really needed out there. I think he's a big part of that defense and that secondary. I just don't trust really anybody else, like especially Eric Stokes. I would love Eric to play well, but he just hadn't put it together this year yet. I want to see more Carrington Valentine. So I'm going to take the Packers, who's not favored in Lambeau. I'm going to take them plus 2.5. I think they're going to win. So doesn't matter about that. So
I'm going to be taking the Lions minus 2.5 simply because I don't know if you've seen them, but they look terrifying. So
I have seen a lion before. I went to the Kansas City Zoo. They have lions there.
Yeah, you're right. I did not see that lion. I only saw a female lion. It was a little anticlimactic.
Was her name Gertrude?
No, it was Beatrice. Gertrude was inside.
I literally talked to her last week. That's hilarious because like
She did not seem like
she was chopping it up about you. She was like, "Yeah,
Really?
so Tyler came in here just like through the glass and shit. He was like playing with you." She said you had a steak. You were playing with a steak, like you had a raw piece of meat and you're just dangling in front of her.
No.
So she's lying.
Yeah,
she's a lying bitch.
She's a lying bitch.
Okay. All right. All right.
Calling a lion a bitch is crazy.
So Detroit.
I'm gonna go to the zoo and be like, "Hey, bitch!" All right.
Just waving a piece of meat.
Yeah, just
menacing. The Lions minus 2.5 for Detroit, and for Tyler's sake on that pick. The Rams are working their way into Seattle. Who
working their way.
they're working their way, man. They're on a fucking
They're digging
bus.
a tunnel. They're on their way, man. They're on the Mayflower.
The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria.
What?
Do you in the bottom while we drink it sangria? Shout out Step Brothers. I think we already discussed that on the channel, but we still need to watch that once a month to create world peace.
Yeah, it'll easy.
Regardless, give me the Rams. This is, I think, the closest game of the week with a 1-point difference. So Rams minus 1. I think they're rolling as long as they got Cooper and they got Puka. Put Cooper in the cup.
We did this. No,
I know
we
it
can't do
didn't.
this
It didn't
again.
work. It didn't work well.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And Seattle looks like ass.
Yeah. Yeah. They.
I might just be a little pissed from last week.
I mean, last week we talked about that they're doing this and then they do this and then they ride that out the same way.
But they started 3-0, and since they've looked like Dookie in a microwave, bro.
Since
like,
starting 3-0, they're 1-4.
Yeah, just hammer the Rams. Don't hammer it. Just if you feel like going crazy,
I would
hit the Rams. If you think Seattle wins this, call the number.
If you're going by your full unit, I would put maybe 0.2, 0.3 of your unit on that bet. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but I think a little bit of money on it is fair because, I mean, it's good money for a dang near positive game like that.
Yeah.
So
next we got the Colts going to the Vikings on Sunday Night Football.
You remember what happened the last time Indianapolis played Minnesota? Indianapolis was up 30-something to nothing at halftime, and they came back and won.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm taking Indianapolis plus 5 I said last week that the Vikings are the Niners team of last year, where they started off undefeated and then they lost 3 straight games, and then it looked nasty. So I'm going with Indianapolis getting the revenge from that horrible game that they endured, and they're going to cover +5. They could even win, but I like them to cover +5.
How long ago was that?
It doesn't matter. That lingers.
Who was that team?
It was the Indianapolis Colts.
Didn't they have like Matt Ryan there?
Don't you disrespect Matt Ryan?
I think he deserves it.
No, that man is a. Is he a Hall of Famer? Do you consider
Thank
Matt
you.
Ryan a Hall
That's
of Famer?
my point right there. The fact that you had to kind of question it. He's not. He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's got good accolades. He's got an MVP, but man, I think if he won that Super Bowl, I think he does get in. Like Matt Ryan's won.
quarterbacks. I think if I put like a picture of like 8 quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Philip
Rivers.
Rivers,
Philip
the
Rivers.
Philip Rivers,
Philip Rivers.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Ah,
Did I already say Ben Roethlisberger?
you did.
I'm just blanking on some of the.
That's
OGs
a tough one.
right
If
now.
Matt Ryan gets in, it's because the NFL stopped playing and they had to keep putting in players every year, and then no one else. Like after a majority of time, they're like Matt Ryan.
And you got to think Julio Jones is a dog. I think he helped him out a little bit too.
Yeah. So regardless, Indianapolis +5, and Tyler will be fighting me here on this. Minnesota -5. So
Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row. I think they kind of need to get it back on track. 5 is a rough number, I will say.
it's a weird one.
But on Sunday Night Football, I think the Vikings are going to go out there and try to prove they were flexed. I mean, they know America is watching. They said, "I don't want to see this Jacksonville nastiness playing." No one wants a revenge game on Sunday Night Football,
Nope.
so they said, "Fine."
No, they want Joe Flacco lighting it up. They want Joe Flacco
versus Sam Darnold.
That is
Who would have said that in 2024?
You know, if you told me that like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have said, "Shut the fuck up."
I would have said, "Sit down on the couch like Joe Flacco right now."
Yeah,
because that doesn't make sense.
That's
crazy to think about, actually. Like, can you imagine if we had to take a couple years ago, like, hey, in a couple years, Joe Flacco might be playing Sam Darnold in a very good Sunday Night Football game with 2 good teams, and then your friend's sitting there like, Joe Flacco's not even in the league. What are you talking about? He's done playing football.
I would have called you crazy, called a mental institute, and got you enrolled into it.
I love the NFL, dude, for that reason.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
For that reason right there.
And to wrap it all up, we got Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay with nobody playing wide receiver takes on the Kansas City Chiefs, who just beat a Raiders team by 7. And I expect them to cover their -8.5 here because DeAndre Hopkins, another week of work with the playbook and the offense. I think the offense is going to start churning like butter.
DeAndre Hopkins anytime touchdown.
I like it.
If you don't like this line of 8.5, just put a D-Hop touchdown. We are going to be in full sync this Monday. I know Mahomes has been saying that every week. I know I've been wanting that every week, but this is actually the week where we're going to put up 35 points against these Buccaneers, and we're going to show everyone that D-Hop is back, and we're going to show everyone that the Chiefs are still here.
We got a Super Bowl revenge matchup.
I actually did not even think about that one. I don't think the Chiefs are thinking about that.
You know, like that's in Mahomes' head at all. Like, hey, this Buccaneers team, like,
it
still
was Tom
players.
Brady there.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes and everyone was thinking about more how Tom Brady has that ring and how the Bucs took it from them.
There's a lot of players on that defense though that are still from that team, like Antoine Winfield and Levante David and Vita Vea.
Yeah,
players like that.
They're gonna play hard for sure. That's why the line's scary. but I'm still taking -8.5.
I like it
think
too.
we're gonna have a good time. I
Yep.
think we're gonna roll. So,
All right. Well, that should wrap it all up for the Week 9 picks. Appreciate you guys watching another episode. We'll be back next week. Follow us on Instagram, X,
The
TikTok, and on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, anything. Let
Leave a
us know.
comment. Let us know if we cooked.
Yeah.
Let us know if we simmered.
Anything you want to see in the next episode, let us know. We'll try to incorporate something. Anything you like, anything you don't like, anything.
Share
So,
your bets too in the comments.
yeah. Let's get some bets going in the comments.
I want to see what we're winning out here.
Yeah, yeah, because we're winning out here, and we want to see what you're winning out here,
Yeah,
so that
come on
way we
now.
can win together.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us. Later.
Go vote.